They're good. And they're right. They're absolutely right. I can't eat just one. All right, here's the deal. I could not do this without drinking. Got some water to wash down potato chips because we are going to be looking at some potato chip cards. Cards that you received in potato chips. Some of them in little wrappers, so they've been preserved over the years. Some of them right next to the greasy chips that discolored the cards. Those are good cards too. I need to put these away, or otherwise I'll do this. All right. I have just a few potato chip cards. Like I said, some of these cards were actually put in little cellophane packs or wax packs, so they didn't get trashed out by the grease and just the handling of chips in a bag. Some of them did not. The ones that did not, in an earlier day, I would not like. I would not like something that's just so soiled to be in my collection. But now I see them as like a like a stamp of approval. Like that is an official card because it's stained, like the hostess cards and the hot dog cards, the various hot dog cards. But let's get started with these cards. I have 4 here from the Dandy Potato Chip Company back in 1954. These cards are pretty cool. And the reason I think they're really cool is because some of them, and I'm going to show you 3 of them, have a solid color background, and some of them actually have a like a field or a stadium. I guess that's a stadium. And let's go ahead and get looking at these. And my favorite card of this set isn't the one you're thinking of. It's Red Shandy's, and you'll see why in a minute. Max Serkant. That's a little stadium behind him, and you'll note the next ones that I'm showing you will just have a solid color background. Yeah, that's a pinhole up there. I'm sure that'll make somebody happy. Mookie might want to do a trade here, but I'm sorry, Mookie, I'm not trading. I love these Dandy cards. They're kind of greasy, but they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Okay, here's Mike Garcia, the Bear. Big Bear. See that solid color? I got another one like that is that color blue. Came in the chips in 1954. I'm going to show you the back real quick. I love the backs of these. See, it's even got the Dandy logo down at the bottom. I just think they're really cool. They are a postage stamp from another era sent to me in 2026. And I love these cards. Here's the other blue one I was telling you about. Hall of Famer Bob Lemon. He's in pretty good shape. Makes sense to do it this way, doesn't it? I do like these cards. I like the backs. Here's one of the solid colored cards that I just thought was the neatest card. When I was looking into these cards, I was looking into these probably 2 decades ago, where I was thinking about really starting to purchase some because they were always expensive. They've never been affordable as long as I've been in the hobby. But this is the one that made me go, yeah, I think I want these cards. Now, these cards right here, as you can see, are some of these stars that you can find in the set. And then, of course, that big one there at the bottom. That's the big one. But there's Larry Doby, Bob Feller. I think I got another Doby up there. But I like the one there with Red Shandy's the best. That is a nice-looking card. And there's a reason why I think I like it. And I think it's got to do with the background. The green and the red, complementary colors. I think they're always going to appeal to people. I just like that card. It's really, really special. 1954 potato chips. I'll bet they tasted way better than the potato chips they have today. I'll bet you they did. because they used a lot worse stuff for you. Well, greasy stuff. The stuff that's in today is all the preservatives. They're not good for you either. Okay, let's get back to business. The next sets that we're going to take a look at, yeah, I said sets. I have a rubber band on this one. Get that off of there. No, not around the, you'll see what I mean. I used to put rubber bands around my cards when I was a kid. And a lot of the cards in my collection still have rubber band marks on them. I'm not replacing them because that's the way I did it. And that's the way I like it. And the nostalgia part is the best part. So, I still have a lot of potato chips in my mouth. We're going to take a look at Granny Goose. And these cards were in packages of Granny Goose potato chips that are out on the West Coast, in the San Francisco area, I think, for the most part, or Oakland area. And they are incredibly beautiful cards, because I say that because I love the Oakland A's uniforms. And there were 3 seasons, 1981, 82, and 83. And we're going to take a look at the 81s first. And I'm going to show you this. They're not in any numerical order. I don't think they are not. But we are always going to show this guy first. That is a way cool card, isn't it? Remember, that's just 1 year after his rookie year. Here's Jeff Newman. We won't go through all of them. Here's Matt Keogh. Tony Armas. This guy was special. He was good. He was a slugger. I wouldn't say he had the talent of Mr. Molina, but Mr. Armas here was a talented catcher. There's an ex-Tiger, Mike Heath. Let's see what else we have here. Somebody else. Oh, here's a really good one. Mike Norris. Heck of a pitcher. Here is Hall of Famer Billy Martin. Yeah, remember, he was the manager. No matter where that man went, he won. Here's Dwayne Murphy. Rick Langford. Kind of headshots, they get boring after a while, don't they? Here's Steve McCatty. And Dave Revering, who eventually played for the Tigers, but I only remember seeing him just like one game. I don't know whatever happened. He might have just retired after that. I think he was at the end of his career. See, I'm putting the rubber bands around these. That's not putting them around my cards, just around the holders. Okay. Now let's get on with the 1981, 82, 83. All right. Again, we're going to start with this fella. Now they had a little contest at the bottom where you tear off that tab and enter it to win. Serious card collectors never did that. We want that tab. A nice Ricky. Here is a great ball player from that era and that team. One of my favorites. That's Carney Lansford. That guy could hit. He was a hitting machine. Love that card. I'm going to show Mike Heath again, only because he's an ex-Tiger. I'm going to just thumb through him. Oh, here's another guy. We just lost him this year. David Lopes. He was a base stealing machine. League leader quite a few times. Or at least in the upper 3. Top 3, that's what I'm trying to say. Mike Davis. Not sure if you've heard me tell this story, but I was in the upper deck at Tiger Stadium one time. This guy hit a home run almost straightaway center field into the upper bleachers, but it exceeded the bleacher area that I was in and hit a light post building that was at the bottom of the light post. Hit the roof of that thing. That is a poke. That's what the big boys, that's where they hit the ball. Norm Cash, Reggie Jackson, Cecil Fielder, those guys, That's where they hit it. But Mike Norris hit it there that day. I was in awe. Did I say Mike Norris? I meant Mike Davis. Here's Mike Norris. He did not hit anything. Maybe a batter once in a while. But not too often. He was a good pitcher. And Dave Langford. Now, I don't have the 82 set, but here we go. Let's take a look at it. You can see I got Ricky up there just for your pleasure. The next set of cards that you could snag out of potato chips were these little things. And these represented a lot of potato chips over the 1980s. I would say 80s, maybe into the 90s. And you're going to see this design on a lot of different things. These discs. These are Jay's potato chips. There's Harold Baines. Rick Sutcliffe. Hall of Famer Lee Smith. These did have little cellophane sleeves on them, so they did not get all janky from all the grease and creases and stuff like that bouncing around inside these Jay's boxes and bags. They're kind of cool, and you can see we got Chicago Cubs. Yeah, they're both Cubs. We have White Sox. I think the Brewers are represented in this set. Yeah, they are, because I know right here we see Sandberg, and they were pretty much from that area. And the company that created these cards created other cards too. So you might get those confused, as I did. But these are straight out of the bags. They're pretty cool. They're really colorful. That's kind of why I like these. I'm not a big fan of cards that don't have the emblems on their uniforms, and I can tell you why. People go, I don't know why I don't like them. I know why. Because part of what I love about baseball are the teams. And the teams need to be represented. And if they're not represented, then part of the history, part of the charm of a card is missing when it's like that. At least in my eyes. You might like it, and more power to you if you do. Okay, let's stick with that. Let's go ahead and just stick with the circular cards. But we're going to change the size. Let's try this. Greg Luzinski, the Bull. Now here's the back. Crane potato chips. Crane potato chips, incidentally, also back in 55? I could be wrong about that. Had buttons, little pins that you could pin on. Here, we'll take a look at it right here. These are really cool. I thought I had some, but what I have are some kind of chocolates. Chocolates and nuts pins. I don't have any of these really cool potato chip pins, but I think I'm going to go looking for them pretty soon because I just love these things. Let's finish up looking at these. Here's a nice Hall of Famer for you. It's Tony Perez. One of my guys, Willie Horton. Look at that. I love Willie Horton. Here's a Hall of Famer, but not so much for playing, but for managing. He was a great player, too. Back in 72, he won the MVP, maybe, I think. The guy could hit. He was a hitting machine. And he won a Gold Glove, I think, his first year as catcher. And there again is Greg Luzinski. Those are the Crane potato chip cards. Again, we're going to stick with that circular motion there as we're looking at cards. Now, this next one is the Kaz Snack Time set. That set had, again, created cards for other teams and other eras too, in other years. Not eras, but years. And you can see right here, these are from a certain area. Most of them are like in the Midwest. As we take a look now into the 1986 year, we have the Cardinals. The Cardinals had their own special set here. Steve Braun. Bob Forsch, great pitcher during that World Series year. Here is Tito Landrum. These are nice cards. The pictures on these, first of all, are in color, not like the other ones that we just looked at. Another thing is they're in color and they're crisp. Some of the other cards are not so crisp, and I think it's because of the World Series. They wanted to do something special. Joaquin Andujar. And everybody's favorite, Ozzie Smith. You know, although they didn't win the series that year, the people in that area were really proud. And I think that's why these cards are in such better, I don't want to say condition, that they were created in a much better way than some of the other potato chip cards from that time period. I think they're quite beautiful. Again, I prefer to have that STL up there, but these are nice. Okay, so we've seen all these circular cards, all these discs. That's what they call them, are discs. And my favorite ones, I've probably come to no surprise to you, are these ones. These are the Detroit Tigers. These are Cane's potato chip cards. They did theirs for 3 years, starting in 1985, 6, and 7. The first one's here. You can see I've got one loose right here, and this is a Lou Whitaker, still in the pack. Love this. It's a nice card. I have a set of this year and the year after and the third year as well. I've got them all in plastics. Here's my favorite year, though. Right here. Forgive me, they kind of stick together when they're in the wrappers. Stan Petrie, the Tiger voice right now, on the radio and on TV. Here's Doug Flynn. Doug played for the Tigers for a little while. Nice catcher. Came from San Diego, I think, to the Tigers. Here's Larry Herndon. Here is Hall of Famer Jack Morris. Here is the final year for the discs, potato chip discs from Cane's. There's another Lou Whitaker for you. I have another one too. Beautiful cards. Let's see. I got some sticking together here. Let me get that apart for you. Here's Johnny Grubb. Here is Guillermo Hernandez, or otherwise known as Willie. And here's the great Kurt Gibson. Oh, there's one more. Dave Bergman. Late Dave Bergman. Those are the Cane's potato chip cards. And when I was a young man, I used to work in a factory. And right around the corner from the factory was a distributor for Cane's potato chips. And I'd drive by it back in 1986, 86. And I wonder if they've got anything in there that I could have, display-wise, maybe some excess cards. So I cruised in, I asked the guy, he goes, my boss isn't here, come back when my boss is here. So I went up at lunchtime the next day, asked him if he had anything, and he goes, I don't, but I have this. This is what we show some of the store people as to what they're getting. Back is all set up too. Ready to cut out. He goes, yeah, go ahead and take that. That was really cool. It's the entire set, uncut. It's my favorite right there. I just thought that was the greatest thing ever at that time. Got me some free cards, uncut. Okay, let's get on to something really special here. I don't mean that the other cards weren't special. What I mean, though, is these are cards that most people don't see, especially those that are not on the West Coast, because this potato chip brand was from that area, in the Los Angeles area, and it was Bell brand potato chips. Now, I'm going to show you these, before I show you the rest of my cards, let's just go ahead and take a look at the cards that are here, because I want you to look at something here that, one of the things that I just thought was kind of strange is you can't really tell the year from looking at these cards, 1960, 61, and 62. Now, The 60 card, the type on it looks a little different, so that can probably set it apart. But the 61 and 2 kind of look alike, don't they? And notice that Wally Moon card's got that potato chip grease all over it. That's a stamp of validation right there. I love it. But those are neat cards, and I've got some right here. Let's go back to Tommy Davis. Let's go to Junior Gilliam. Okay, one of my favorites from this set, Duke Snider. Now, if you're a Duke Snider lover, collector, and you like some really good vintage cards from a veteran player, these are not expensive. You get them graded, yeah, but I mean, if you don't, look how good they look in one touch. I think there's 3 seasons of Mr. Snider. The same can be said about Sandy Koufax, because Sandy is in all 3 years. I know he's in 2 years, maybe 3. And they're beautiful cards. And, you know, his career wasn't very long. And this is right about in the middle of his career. And these cards are not as expensive as some of the Topps cards from that era. Again, I'm talking about ungraded cards. So I would take a look at those if you're trying to snag yourself some kind of a unique Sandy Koufax card. All right. This is the second to the last set of cards that we're going to talk about today as far as potato chips go. This is the Utz brand, or Utz. This is Schwarber and Perez. These cards are very much just like the ones from 2019, except for the logo. They're not that expensive, but if you're trying to collect the set, there's 100 cards in this set. And it could get expensive if you're buying them one card at a time. I have tried to pick them up in a lot on eBay. Even the lots are expensive. So right now I'm just picking up the stars. I do have a couple 2020s, but I don't have them here. I've got them in a binder. And you can see the cards here. They were actually in those snack packs, not the big boxes, not the big packages of potato chips. I thought that was really cool because maybe I'm wrong with thinking this, but I think the cards were in the smaller packs, and the smaller packs are for kids. They're for kids' lunches, that sort of thing. I really thought that was cool. This brand was not from around here. That's why I didn't see them and was able to buy them. I didn't even know about them until just a few years ago. But I do like them. And that second year, that 2020 year, I got to collect more of those because they're different. They're not like the Topps cards from 2020. Okay, that is the last of my potato chip cards, except for one more set, partial set. It is the biggest baseball card. Well, it's the biggest potato chip baseball card you're going to see today, I can tell you that. The biggest one. And what it really is a box. It's Nally potato chips from the Pacific Northwest. These boxes were assembled, obviously, and cello boxes or cello packs inside, and then the cards were actually on the back. Look how big this is. We got Sweet right here, Rick Sweet. We've got the entire schedule. Got something you can send away for there. I guess I'd never looked at that. Have to look at it later. That is a cool looking card, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's a card. It's just big. Reminds me of the Wheaties ones. The Wheaties, that we have there. These are cool. All right, let's show you one more. This is one-time Tiger Al Collins. I like this card. I like all this space up here. I don't know why I like that. Normally I wouldn't like that. But I think it's really cool. It looks, I don't know what it looks like. It's just appealing to me. And I like the old M logo, the old trident. Played for the Tigers, like I said. Another guy that played for the Tigers was Ed Farmer. Ed Farmer hit him in the mouth, broke his jaw. A couple years later, holding a grudge, now playing for the Tigers. Farmer no longer with the Tigers. Or no, wait a minute. How did that work? I can't remember now. I remember hearing it on the radio. Can't believe what was going on. Rushed the mound. Got into a big fight. Big fight. Yeah, it was Farmer wasn't playing for the Tigers, and I think he was with Cleveland. And Al was going to take his pound of flesh. All right, the last one, the last big card. Hall of Famer, Gaylord Perry. It's a that's a nice card, isn't it? They don't make top loaders for these, I don't think. And that's it. There were other potato chip things out there floating around. I think there's a Canadian brand that I can't remember now. Anyway, I've just always loved food issues, soda pop issues, beer issues, anything that's associated with some other kind of product where they use the popularity of baseball to sell their item, to promote their items, because they know it was worthwhile. They knew hooking their wagon to something as positive as baseball was a good move. And I just think that's fun, and that's why I collect that stuff. Now, that's it, okay? I need to get back to some business. I got some unfinished business here. Talk soon.
Cardboard meditation helps set your mind right. Thank you for watching. Show us your appreciation by clicking the like and subscribe button. Ring the bell while you're at it so you'll know when we upload a new story.